Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is mixed media mayhem. Now our recipe today is black background stencil and thread. So I've pulled a piece of black cardstock. I've got the tiny heart stencil from the Scrapping Reflection shop, and I've got a spool of black thread. Now I've also pulled out glossy spray in white, my Brutus Monroe Glitter Glaze in Raven, a bunch of scraps and things, and also a photo of when I hit 4,000 subscribers, because you know I love those number milestones, and this is getting documented. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so here I am starting off with the tiny heart stencil, and this is black glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. Technically the color is Raven. So I am doing tone on tone. I have that black background and my glitter glaze. Now as you can see, I am using a very small amount of glitter glaze. I am making it flush in the stencil holes. So I don't want to have it thick. Now if you want it to have a really thick protrusion of hearts, you could put your glitter glaze on thick where you wouldn't see the stencil underneath, and when you lifted your stencil up, you would have big, thick hearts. But, stencil reveal! This time, I did not want that. I just wanted something maybe a little bit more subtle in the background. So this is a paper scrap, you guys. It is a torn paper scrap that I actually brought back with me from retreat. I got on a very themed color scheme while I was scrapbooking. If you saw my layout share video, you might have picked up on that. And I decided to kind of keep that same color scheme going with this layout as well. So I love me some teal, some pink, and some ochre, golden, yellow stuff like this is. I don't know what color this is. I don't know. It's not yellow, but it is just a combination that I really love. So I'm going to map my photo on this diagonal striped paper, and the photo does kind of get lost on top of it a little bit, but I didn't want there to be such a big difference between the photo and the paper it was mounted on, because I wanted this to feel like one big cohesive element instead of my photo slapped on top of it. I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that I'm articulating what was going through my mind to you guys. So this is also something else that I do when I am scrapbooking and I've got wet mixed media going on. Now, I don't really have the patience to let my mixed media dry completely all the time, but I do have the patience to set it aside and build my layout and kind of put my layout on top of my background. So that is what I'm doing here. Now I am also going to cut a tag. Now this is something I do because I don't have a tag template. I take a rectangle, I put it on top of my grid mat, and I line it up and I mark the same on the vertical and the horizontal part of the rectangle, like the same distance. So once you do that, you just cut from each mark and you've got a perfectly shaped tag. Now I'm sure there's fancier ways to make a tag like that, but this is my way and it works for me and I like it. Now I ripped apart that little teeny tiny piece of yellow paper there, and I'm going to layer that over top my torn wood grain paper here. I flipped over this entire, I almost called it a monstrosity, but it's not a monstrosity. This entire conglomerate of paper, I don't know, I'm feeling like it's a conglomerate. And then I'm going to put that right down on top of the layout that I have. So as you can see, my photo and kind of matte and frame cluster kind of, you know, fit in. At least I think it fits in. I think it lays over top of those torn papers quite nicely. So I've got this going on. I decided that my photo needed to be popped up a little bit. So even though I just sat there and told you I wanted the photo to feel like it was all part of this piece right here, I felt like it needed a little bit more distinction than I gave it. So putting those black lines on the pattern papers gives it that little extra bit of distinction, but I do love a photo popped up on Fun Foam. And I gotta thank my girl Crystal, who keeps me supplied in the Fun Foam. So now that that's done, I am going to use the thread and create a little thread messy nest. Is it a nest? A thread nest? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm throwing some thread on here. Now, when I originally saw this mixed media mayhem recipe, I thought for sure I was going to sew. Thought for sure. Thought my sewing machine would be set up, my room would be complete, and I would have no problems throwing some paper through my sewing machine. However, the room is not complete, the sewing machine is not unpacked, so we're getting a pile of thread tucked under the photo. Now, if I just left it like this, you would be like, Sandy, are you kidding me? You are literally just phoning it in for the Mixed Media Mayhem Challenge. But I'm not. I'm using it as a base of a little cluster. Okay, so I've got the thread up there kind of, messy, kind of hanging out. And then I'm pulling out some bits and bobs. And I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want in this cluster, because I'm not exactly sure. I know I'm going to take a pink label, and that works because I've got that pink tag up there in that glassine bag. And it's just a matter of figuring out what I can use. So I'm going through this little plastic case that I have, and this is leftover bits and things from the retreat. And I have this chipboard that says, "Oh, happy day." And I'm like, you know what? Hitting 4,000 subscribers was a happy day. And I'm going to journal about that. So I figure I can use that. I'm going to try to figure out what else I can do to build up a little cluster over here that can be cute and fun. So I've got this floral label, and I rip that sucker in half, and I go ahead and create a little banner hangy down things here. And yeah, I created hang downs for my layout, guys. And then I find this little chipboard leafy thing, and I'm like, you know what, this is cool. I like this leafy thing over top of the messy sewing thread right here. So I'm going to put that down. And then I'm going to use a pop foam to go ahead and place that chipboard over top of the chipboard leafy thing. Now, I could have pulled chipboard layers off of the chipboard leafy thing, and it wouldn't have had as much lift off the page, but I just decided I like the little bit of lift off the page, and I'm going to make it happen. I decided to bring in a couple little stickers as well, and to embellish that up there at the top, over top of that glassine bag. And I figured I would bring in some enamel dots. Now, I will tell you guys, I decided not to bring in that white gloss spray. I figured the white splatters would have taken away from the whole feel that I get off of this layout. So I just decided to keep the gloss spray out. I am using some light pink enamel dots, and originally I was just placing them in these two places because I was like, I have a very short diagonal of embellishment right here, like very short. But ultimately I ended up adding enamel dots down here too. I really wasn't going to put anything else on the layout, but I felt like this bottom part was a tiny bit naked. And I decided to grab some thickers and just pull out the numeral, look at me, the number 4 and the letter K to spell out 4K. And then I decided, you know what, it needs a little bit more oomph down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more of those pink enamel dots. So now I'm looking at this layout, I'm feeling all the feels about it. Like, I'm really liking how it looks. I'm liking how the layout makes me feel, and I was going to change where that enamel dot was and put the enamel dot where the tag hole would be, because you know I can't abide a naked tag hole. I went to pull that enamel dot off and it started to rip the cardstock, and I was like, okay, that enamel dot's got some good adhesion. So I just pressed it back down, And then I am actually journaling on my tag here. So I talk about how there are times where I actually feel like a real, in quotes, YouTuber, and hitting 4,000 subscribers definitely made me feel like a real YouTuber. And it's kind of amazing to me that people like to listen to me ramble and watch me play with pretty paper, and how much I love the YouTube community. So I wrote all of that down. Also, fun fact, I was recognized at work, you guys. A customer came in, and I wish I would have gotten her name. We chatted for just a couple minutes, but I didn't even think to ask her name. That was terrible of me. I'm so sorry. She recognized me from doing YouTube videos, and she saw me at work, so that was kind of cool. Anyway, so now I've got this tag. I've got journaling. I mean, who am I? There's actually more than a couple lines of journaling on a layout. But I need something where the tag goes. So I'm searching around. I can't find my black embroidery floss. I don't know where it is. It isn't with the white embroidery floss, which is where it should be. So I don't know if I don't have any more. I'm just not sure. So I grab this gray and white baker's twine, and I do a little loop-de-loop, staple that sucker down, and then that is going to do it for this video, and the layout is complete. So, stencil, black backgrounds, and thread. I hit all three. I'm happy with my mixed media mayhem this week. And guys, make sure you check out the links down below for everyone else who is playing with Mixed Media Mayhem. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video.